orientation is locked. You're live. I don't want my orientation locked. All right, so we are. Okay. Well, let's see if it can move that around. Yeah, there we go. All right, we are live here at iFixit, the iFixit mothership, and we are here with a bunch of people that are in the small group of let's figure out how we can develop some industry best practices for your iPad glass repair. So we've got a bunch of folks here that fix iPads, and we've got some cool new tools. Let me see if I can turn this camera. And we're going to check out the iFixit tool here, which is a pretty cool t-shirty heat press.
It's a total t-shirt press.
And then we've got Justin here from The Art of Repair is here, and he's a big fan of this kind of food saver vacuumy method, and a couple people have tried that. And then we've got a bunch of other folks that fix iPads. So let's kind of first take some polls. What are you doing for iPads? Who loves what they do? And who kind of, wants to improve? We did this a little bit before. So, Rami, tell us real quick about what are you doing for iPads? How many do you do in a week?
Like between 7 to 10.
Okay, 7 to 10 a week, so standard kind of shop. How long does it take?
Like about 45 minutes.
Okay, so what's your overall process?
Actually, I start by taking out the screen with heat.
Do you use one of the Chinese heat mats or hot air?
Any hot airs. Like usually I go to Home Depot, they sell the heat gun.
So the Wagner, the good old Wagner, and you're heating it up?
Lowe's to get a quarter cable.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, have you tried the Chinese heat mat? You know what I'm talking about?
Actually, I tried it, but I feel it does not provide enough heat to make the old adhesive a little bit weaker. Like once you insert.
And what tool do you use to get off the screen?
I use a tool, they sell it at Prime Tech Tool. It's like a weird shaped tool, and it is so thin. I like it. It's so flexible.
Is it the magic glass tool that Raul went to wine store? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's a good tool. Like it's so thin, so flexible, and thick. So not thick as far as like thickness. I mean like wide.
Right.
So when you insert it under the iPad, you can control it perfectly, not to break.
All right.
Glass.
And then you clean the adhesive?
Oh yeah. After I clean it with the X-Acto knife, with the flathead screwdriver, something just to.
Any chemicals?
Yeah. No, I don't use chemical.
No chemicals.
I thought you tell me like.
So alcohol? No, nothing. Just
sometimes if I need it by the corners only.
Okay. All right. And then what do you use for adhesive?
I use the one that comes with the screens. I ordered it from Jim Roberts.
Roberts, iPad Medic.
Yeah,
right.
iPad Medic.
He has like a.
I've heard he's got really good screens. So.
He particularly goes after like best quality iPad screens.
I totally agree with that. He has like perfect quality, and the tape, the one that comes with the screen, if you just heat it for a few minutes.
Is it more? Is it black? Is it Tesla tape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black tape.
All right.
And if you heat it just like for a few minutes, and after you heat it, you seal it with the vacuum.
All right, so you're in the vacuum camp, and you're happy with it.
Yes.
And you don't have home button issues or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, then we've got these three guys here, and you guys have like school contracts, so you're doing a lot of iPads.
We do about 40 a week.
40 a week?
Yeah.
Do you hate them, or do you
we actually enjoy them. We love them.
Great, I will hook you up. iPad Rehab hates iPads.
Yeah, we love them because they've allowed us to do a lot more. We do all of the iPads. Our primary ones are iPad Airs. We open them. We do use the iFlex to begin the opening process, but then we switch to plastic tools to avoid damaging the anodization on the frame. Because we're trying to get them back to the schools without getting crazy.
So heat to get them off. What do you use?
We use the Wagner.
Wagner. Okay.
Any heat plates they cool too fast.
Okay.
So focused heat, work your way around, and you're.
So you're not batching these; they're one by one.
One by one.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have those contracts on top of our consumer facing. They have to be done in between.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
We use the heat, get them up. Plastic tools. Once the iFlex gets us started, gets us in there, we get it up. Then we clean them, we scrape it down all the way till all the adhesive's off. If we have to use alcohol, we will to
Okay.
get the stuff that's left behind, especially if it's been done before.
Yep.
Because it'll leave the extra adhesive behind. We actually use red tape. We don't use the Tessa tape because it lifts the screen just a hair and can help you avoid any shorts from digitizer touching metal.
Okay. So red tape is actually a Tessa product. So if we
yeah,
want
I'm
to,
thinking the Tessa black tape that
right? Okay.
compresses with heat.
I think a lot of people don't know that the actual red tape is Tessa tape, and they buy more generic stuff. I mean,
Right.
for a very long time, red tape was just red tape TM.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean, everybody remembers that who used to buy it back in the day. So, and then on that, it got copied so much that unless you are specifically buying red
Right.
from Tessa, you're
So
getting
where
some
do you get
generics.
your red tape?
I think ours wholesale gadget is our primary.
Okay, so you guys are using copy red tape. Gotcha.
Is it the plastic
Okay.
ring on the inside, the white plastic ring?
Yes.
Then that's aftermarket.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
So
he
we-
said he got it from wholesale. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if they
Well,
sold real.
primarily, we also get
We
it from a
get-
couple other vendors,
Okay.
but they all have plastic, so that's good to know.
All right, but you're in the camp. We talked earlier about you want the screen to be on there in a way that's going to make it easy for you to get back into the device. So you're
If
not
we-
going for that factory perfect.
We don't want we don't want such a factory seal that we could not get back into it without damaging the screen.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough.
You got some red
Okay.
Tessa
Yeah,
right
no,
here,
actually,
though.
maybe I was wrong there. It looks like that has the.
Has plastic ring.
I just remember getting Tessa back in the day. It had like a. It had the logo on the
Yeah, the
inside.
cardboard.
So, correction, red tape
Okay.
can really be.
All right, Jordan. How many iPads are you doing?
If it's generic, it
5 to
sticks
10
really
weeks.
damn well.
Do you love your process, or it's kind of like not your favorite thing?
Well, iPads in general aren't my favorite, but the process is great.
Okay. What do you guys do? Or
we got-
tell us your like kind of hit your primary differences so we can speed up.
So I got a heat mat that is amazing. Set it about 70 degrees Celsius. Leave it on there for,
This is the blue Chinese heat mat everybody uses.
yep, it works multi-purpose for phones, tablets, everything. Throw it on there for about 10 minutes, or if you get talking to a customer and you forget, sometimes it ends up on there for 20 minutes, half an hour.
3 days. Okay.
And you come back, but it hasn't melted anything yet, so it's
Okay.
fine. You can throw it on the front for the glass. You can also put it on the frame, so the heat will kind of rise up through the frame and melt the
Yep.
adhesive that way.
Okay.
And then I
And
use,
then for your tool
I
to
use
get in,
iFlex the whole way.
the iFlex.
Yep.
Okay.
And then once I get it off, I have a really nice, I can't remember the name brand, but really nice like chisel tip.
Okay.
Super sharp. Just go in there and slice through all the old adhesive that's left over.
No chemicals.
No chemicals.
Okay.
Because it literally is the sharpest thing you can get.
Okay.
And able to slice through everything.
So it feels like a scalpel. Like
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
All right. So clean frame, and then what do you do for adhesive in your new screen?
So there are some vendors that do have good adhesive that you don't have to replace it with. And the vendors that I use have a good track record. I've never had any lifts. I keep track of those. I'm pretty meticulous when it comes to iPads. So I will use the stock adhesive with the vendors that I trust. There are some that are questionable, but the ones
Who are
that
you
I
buying
use,
screens from? Come on.
Mobile,
He just told us.
Mobile Centrics is good.
That's not what you said.
The premium ones.
Who's he actually buying screens from?
Oh, I'm gonna let him.
And
God damn it.
LCD Loop premium screens are good. People don't know about them much,
Oh, okay.
but
Now they do.
What's that?
Do you know how many people watch your channel?
Let's see. Probably only.
Those
It's
are
only
great.
61.
And then just throw it back down. If the adhesive is set and everything's great, I don't, usually have to heat it for my technique. Just use the clamps all around it, not the spring-loaded ones, but the ones that you clamp a few times and it cinches it down. Do those all the way around, like in every inch, so it's nice and even. And then just leave it on the shelf for an hour. It's good.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. All right. How about you guys? Who are you fixing iPads?
Yeah, not very many, like maybe one a month.
Okay. Do you love your process, or you are still kind of on the learning curve?
Yeah, it works out pretty great. It's pretty much the same thing. Just taking, I actually use, I don't have a heated mat. I use either the heat gun or the heated bed for my 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
And then just fry it up, put a new one on, clamp it down, or I've used the vacuum.
What adhesive do you use?
The taffy tape, or yeah, that stuff.
What color is it?
The black stuff.
The black stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get it from?
eBay.
Okay, so you
Good old 3M generic.
okay.
Because
Alright.
everything that says 3M is real.
Clear stuff.
Okay.
E-Tech
Oh.
So questionable tape. Gotcha. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
100%
we
legit,
found it
bro.
out.
I mean, I haven't had any returns.
Trusted
If I
working.
do have any returns, you know, I'll.
Then you're right. Okay, well that's what we're here to do. Figure it out, right? Okay, how about you guys? You love iPads or no?
No. Try to avoid iPads, basically. Kind of. What we do is sometimes we get a lot with the glass that's chipping, so we put masking tape over it or just packing tape.
Yep.
We have a heating pad. Flip it on the heating pad. Go through it with, I believe, an SSMO. And then that's how we basically pull off the glass on it. We get our glass with the tape on it from iFixit, basically. Since we don't do too many, it's not too big a deal.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Okay, so this is getting too boring, so we are going to move on. Do any of the rest of you guys over there love your iPad process or do anything significantly different?
I don't repair iPads.
Okay, so no. All right. And you said that when we talked earlier you had to give up iPads. Too much work, too much of a pain in the ass, you hate them.
Yeah.
Throwing away money.
The first time I repaired the iPad, I think it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's
The one with the clips. They're a lot different now. Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So, I mean, this is one of these things where in the industry, struggle, and you have to be well connected in order to be able to share information and things like that. And we've really kind of come a long way, even in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, none of us had ever even heard of Tessa tape, and we all looked like idiots calling what Tessa calls, 61395 or whatever it is, red tape. And they're like, wait, because it has like a red.
There was a whole
cellophane?
movement. There was like a whole movement behind it. Like there was literally a website that was red tape TM, like it was a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like
right.
somebody was like, oh, capitalize.
Right, exactly. So now we kind of all pretty much take it that the black Tessa adhesive, and I don't remember the what is it? So the red tape here is the 5, so that is actual red tape, and the
61395 is the black.
yeah 61395. That's what it is.
This is
right?
the red. Red
Yeah.
is
There we go.
61395.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this stuff. So this
The real good stuff.
This is what we all now believe is actually the OEM adhesive that comes in the iPads, right? Everybody's on board with that, yes. Okay.
Well, I think a big problem too was before iFixit actually started carrying it. I think there was tapetemplates.com that had it, and it was like $50 a roll. There was no way to know if it was real or not. You know
Well,
what I mean? So,
okay, let's not throw Niels under the bus. That stuff is real because
fair
he was one of the guys that, I love respecting people that do stuff for the industry. So Niels was, took the initiative
Well, if
to
you know
go
it's
out
real,
there.
then there we go.
It is absolutely real.
All right, well,
Tapetemplates.com
that answers the
and
question for me.
iFixit.com are the only people that are selling actual bona fide Tessa
it
tape.
was tapetemplates.com.
Yeah,
So,
we have
I mean,
his
not to say I ever got anything
Yeah.
bad from the guy. You know?
Right.
Huh?
I use it.
It's one of those things that
Yeah.
doesn't like a big name staying behind it, and then I think you guys had like a webinar with
Yeah,
Tessa,
well,
and that's what really legitimized it for me.
And that was really
Right.
the thing, was we were so frustrated. We had the 3M folks out here, and we had Tisa come out here and teach our engineers how to do it. And we
Right.
showed them our adhesive removal processes and
Right.
talked to them about. And they couldn't tell us exactly what Apple was using.
Right.
But, they
But
told
it was
us
clear.
enough that
Right.
we could figure it out.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Yes.
Exactly. But I mean, I remember that. That was fantastic because the guy said things in that webinar about like when you apply the pressure sensitive adhesive is directional, so that you really need to go all around in one direction. I did not know that. So this guy was like PSA PhD, So
Well,
he
shoot, I'm
was
wrapping around my
awesome.
thumb. I hope I'm going the right way.
Yeah. So, all right. So now we're at kind of another sort of crux in our evolutionary biology of iPad repair, where we've got some new techniques that we want to kind of see how people feel about. So you're going to walk us through. Let's do first the vacuum, and then we're going to do the t-shirt press. And we were a little, this is the unconference, so none of us brought like tools to measure the actual amount of, like how many Coke cans can we tie to the screen before it comes off in order to know which one is the scientifically better process. And I liked, like you said, you're doing repairs in the heat of Tucson. People have the iPad on their car dashboard.
They tell their kids, leave them in the car, they come back to me a day later.
And then over where I live, it's cold Rochester bus stop where you got to like snow shovel your way out to the bus, you know, and so the iPad in their backpack is under really different conditions. So it would be nice if we could actually, you know, kind of test and see which one is the better bond. But you guys are saying we don't want a good bond anyway. We want to be able to get back in there. You know?
Factory seal.
Okay, all right, it's fair enough.
And, you know, that was one of those things I was talking about a minute ago. You can still have a factory seal and have something really good as long as you build yourself a way back in. You know what I mean? You can still put the tape down and seal it and it not like come up or anything like that. And you still have a little way to get in. You know, especially with the test, if you come in from the side.
Can I say this? I've never had an iPad Air or
Fair
maybe
enough.
lift with red tape.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
fair enough. But still, it's not so much always lifting. You said to yourself, what if the digitizer's bad? You still got to go in
We
there.
buy high quality parts. That's the difference in as far as a lot of people can buy them for like $14 or whatever, or $25 or $35 on your site. The difference is we have to buy the most premium, especially since we're dealing with schools, because one, they won't do business with us if for some reason they keep coming back because we have to do warranty issues. So we do buy the best quality parts. It's just we're not sealing them to this capacity.
Right. So you've never had a digitizer just not work after a little bit?
I would say maybe one or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
Never.
Say never.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like on that same note, though, like with me, part of my repair practice is to always build myself a way back in so that I can, you know, amplify that repairability in the future. Because you put it in a certain way. What if that customer breaks it and comes it back to you? Now I get the whole like school instance where you're doing massive amounts. I totally get it. But from my standpoint of, being
I don't know
a
about
guy,
this build a way back in. That sounds like a way for water to get in, honestly. All right, let's get started. Get busy. All right. So what do we have going on so far? So this is kind of like a tester one that had no screen anyway.
All right,
so you put on the regular old what we consider the OEM Tessa black tape.
I always try to make sure it's as close to the wall as possible so we don't get any extra room in there for dust, dirt, or grime to get in and start to separate the adhesive.
Okay.
Where was the one that we already peeled?
All right, so let's look at that. So this has been...
Yeah, I took all the original tape off.
Okay.
I never use the original tape, really. I think that most of the time it's just crap.
Okay.
So I don't like attaching two different types of adhesive together that I don't know everything about the original.
Right.
So we take it off. Like I said, I kind of go as close to the border as possible. I always take a razor, kind of cut it to fit with it. So let's go ahead and actually just take off the tape here and get to the next part here. The next part would actually be to put the screen in and then put it in the vacuum sealer and apply some vacuum to it.
No, I think the biggest mistake that people make, especially if you're not doing, where's Guy that doesn't do a whole lot of these? So if you're not doing a whole lot of these, is getting your flex.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's
I wish
the
we
thing,
had one, right?
Can we just get one with a flex? Like, yeah.
No, because that thing's all screwed down. Wait, is it?
Don't turn it on. Don't turn it on.
I can sacrifice a digitizer for you if you want.
I think if we're doing a video, that's probably be worthwhile because the
I've
most important part.
This is iPad 2.
Just look at the port.
Yeah, you know how you can tell.
Right.
Just read the just read the model number on the back. Flip it over.
That's what it did.
No.
Oh, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna need some flat build tweezers too. We got some flat builds around here.
I'm gonna need the iPhone charger from over there.
I've got a battery backup if you want to carry it with you. Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah.
See, there we go.
Sweet.
My man. Oh shoot.
Is this gonna? If this kills, is this yours? This is gonna kill my TriStar.
Somebody get a power ammeter real quick and let's check this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 5.6. Don't.
It's Amazon Basics. I hope that's.
Okay.
No.
You don't have any TriStars on hand?
I've had a lot of iPads killed by Basics.
So do we have like regular tweezers around here?
I thought
So this comes with a free TriStar repair on my personal iPhone 6, right?
So you can
Well, hold on. Somebody get her the fan. You could cool yourself while we're doing this.
Would they bother your ceramic tweezers?
They're curved. It's not gonna do it the same way. It's not enough reach for it. Do we have any flat build tweezers? Anybody seen any around here? I don't know.
Well, let's go look at the tool section because we seem pretty comprehensive over here.
Oh yeah, little baby tools. All right.
Did you need to use a chop saw for something, or?
Make sure there is no dust.
Oh, look at that! The laser. This is pretty sweet. Yeah, a little chalk line. 2 different chalk lines.
DeWalt.
Yeah. This is brought to you by iFixit.
We need to find the flat bills to be able to do this, right? Well, maybe we can try this on regular flats. Maybe it'll work. Come on. Not that much. Look at these. Like 80.
Those are like ready for removing underfill.
You remember the movie, the poster? Mine always look like after a while.
All right, what's the problem here?
Oh, we were looking for the right tweezers.
For what?
And I think we're waiting on a digitizer.
Okay.
So.
What do you need tweezers for? Like, why is this such a big deal?
Flex in. I always do it a very specific way.
Oh, okay.
You know
I
me,
see.
I'm specific.
Okay.
I just
can't use the back end.
Actually, I've never. So you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never watched it, but I will because somebody told me when did you see? I mean, I'm gonna assume that you also don't watch my channel, but I got a
sometimes every once
I got
in a
a
while.
green screen lately, and I was like, this is gonna be so awesome. They're like, oh yeah, Justin has a. I was like, what? You know, yeah. So give me some good green screen ideas.
Green screen ideas?
Yeah.
I was
already
planning on taking some pictures of the iFixit set and then just popping in one day.
Yes.
Because then we could be here anytime.
Yes.
See? There we go.
That's a great idea.
I know.
Let's do that.
We could just have everybody like switch sets for a week.
Yes.
I could be iPad rehab. You can be the auto repair. Lewis can go somewhere. I don't know where.
I already went to take over Lewis's shop. And I put the iPad rehab logo.
Oh, did you put his thing in the...
Yeah, and then I put iPad rehab logo all over his shit, like his Jal Mal,
I'm gonna
the
go check that
VGA
out.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I was in front of the Apple store. I was at Drive Savers. I was at the beach.
I'm telling you, we just got to get some
I bought the real suit.
We got to get some really good, like, just high quality pictures of all the stuff they have here, and then we can just be here anytime. They can't stop us anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Jessa, and this is iFixit. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
First time I've ever sent out a cease and desist.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Oh,
I think I heard him yelling, I'm looking.
Yeah.
Just this one kid. Yeah, but with...
live stream says, please can you tell him to chew gum like a man?
No idea. He chews ridiculously all the time. Like,
I'm not allowed to have chips. I'm not allowed to have...
Wow.
It's obnoxious.
I'll put that on the... Oh, well, here's the other thing I was going to actually do for Green Stream, a complaint board of YouTube complaints.
YouTube complaints?
Yeah, exactly. Things like...
Just like people just put it in the background?
Bubblegum Alley?
What?
Yeah. So you want to save that for Bubblegum Alley. I was there last night, and yeah, that place is wild.
All right. Special delivery.
Yay!
iFixit. There you go.
All right.
I didn't even pay overnight shipping yet.
All right, so let's see your fancy flex folding technique.
All right.
Now this really is, wouldn't you guys agree, that the flex, getting a bend or a crease in the flex is the #1 fault of people that are doing an iPad.
I don't understand. I've done hundreds of iPads. They all just keep coming up.
Yeah, they ghost or whatever. Oh, you're in luck. This one's got a logic board in there. I was.
Do you know if this one turns on? You seemed really concerned about it.
I doubt it turns on. I mean, we're gonna go. We're doing micro soldering next, so we'll make it turn on. Right, exactly. How many of you guys that are here are actually watching this stream, like on your phone?
Oh, that's cheating.
Hey, so one thing I would mention as we're all here hanging out, it's California. It's
all right, here we go.
We have 3 kegs of beer over there.
All right, talk us through this. This is
all
the
right.
important part.
So we went ahead, we attached it into the actual connector right there.
Okay.
And what I think is really important is making sure you pre-bend your flex so that it's conditioned to go down in properly. With my finger, I kind of lock it in there.
You tuck it under.
Yep, tuck it under.
So if you're new, get up. This is the one thing you really need to see here.
Exactly. All right, so we're tucked in, and we don't have any screws for this display, but I'll just kind of drop the display in there. I mean, if you got some Samsung screws, they work. Regular generic Samsung screws, beautifully.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Amazing. You know. All right. So at this point, obviously, everything is cleaned up, or everything's good to go.
Why'd you peel that, man?
It's just a habit.
Okay.
Just a habit. So I always come in on the opposite side. Make sure that.
That's what I do too. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. How about that? I make sure that it's absolutely flush. All right. Now here's the important thing here. This Tesa tape is strong. We all know it. Flip it over and don't let it touch anything. If you let it touch anything, you might just have yourself a little problem. We're going to take these, and I go in there from the side. And the reason I like these is just I feel like there's more control. This little crease right here, as I'm putting a little bit of pressure, I just push it straight, and I kind of wiggle down in there, and you can just press it straight down.
And your
Be a little
goal.
more specific on push it and put it
Okay,
straight
so
and push.
yeah, it's our. If you come on this side, you can come and see. This is one. To be honest, I've already attempted to make a video on this. It was kind of a pain in the butt to actually get the cameras right. So I was like, I'll just wait till later. Exactly. All right. So if you want to come over here,
Your main goal is to have the flex
go down inside the little.
be in between
All right,
the edge
so-
of the LCD and the frame.
Now here's the thing. Whenever we look at it, we normally get 1-2 little creases in it just from it pushing down. Why? Because it's coming up off the actual digitizer and it's wrapping around again. So it naturally creates some issues there. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking my tweezers, and again, this is just my preferred tool. I'm sure that you can do it multiple different ways. I'm pushing it in, and as I'm pushing down, you see how it's creasing again. It's making a whole nother crease there. So I'm going to push up and straighten it.
Aha. All right, pull it back out and let's see that again.
Oh, it's taped. I was kidding. Ooh, sketch city.
All right, so the main thing, you don't want to have any kind of crease or bend. The flex is filled with the tiny wires. If you do, you'll get ghosting. And then you'll
Exactly.
think bad part, but it's actually bad installation.
All right, so one more time here. We've got our first crease, and then we have the second crease that's being created because you've already kind of pushed it in there, so you already artificially created that crease on your own. We're going to come back in again, and again, as we're pushing down, we want to straighten it out. Boom, now it's completely straight. And as we do it, we shoop. And which way are we supposed to go?
Technique with the iPad 3s and all the others.
Anytime that you have to get it in there, having something that's going to allow you to get in there and straighten it out appropriately, because as it slides down into the actual creased area, it's going to just level itself back out, and then it's alone in there, nothing's touching it, and you're good to go. So
the main thing would be look when you're doing your disassembly. Look hard. Even take a picture of how it is in the original.
All right.
So, like for the iPad Mini, it's really important to push the flex towards the LCD, and that's hard to understand. But if you were looking at an original that you were taking apart, just know it's important for me to memorize how it fits in the original, and then make your repair match that.
All right, so at this point we can see that we're completely flush, and you're going to know immediately. You're going to know immediately if you didn't do this right, because you're not going to put a lot of pressure here, and you're going to see that it's just going to, I don't know if I can get back in there, it's just going to pop up like that, and you're going to be like, oh, here you go. No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of people,
more heat.
a lot of people do that though. They hand in, they're like, you know what? Just put under a book. Put under a book for a while, and then the customer comes back like a day later, and the thing's separated, and then you're like, I don't understand. So at this point, once we're actually in there, I kind of just, this one doesn't even have a home button. Great. Just slide it across, and again, now that we're
See,
in there,
right there. You're not going the same way, Holmes.
I know. I don't know which way it is.
Well,
Remember?
you pick a way and then stick with that, so that it's like vacuuming your carpet, so that you're all going the same same way. You're making all the little
Well, I don't want people to know I just vacuumed
Well,
my
I've been
carpet when they were coming
vacuuming
over.
mine, too.
I want them to think my house is always clean. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so now that we're in here, this comes to the ceiling thing. You might think, hey, that's pretty good. Here you go, but it's not time yet for that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Food Saver bag here, and obviously I keep saying Food Saver. That's just the brand they sell at Walmart near my house. We're gonna put it in here, and hopefully.
So Kyle, where did this come from? Your kitchen?
This is my kitchen personal food saving
I'm gonna use
device.
my kitchen
Yeah,
one, too.
and we picked this because it's what Cooks Illustrated recommended as the best.
Okay.
So this is the Weston. This is a fairly high-end vacuum sealer because we're serious about our cooking.
Yeah,
household.
well, you are. Your wife's a chef,
Yes,
so
my wife
no
is
lie.
a chef, and we extensively research.
Let's see if we can get it to
But
work
I've
this
never
time.
used this on anything but food.
And you guys realize that Kyle's wife's been cooking for us this entire time, which is amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
And I also grew up in the country where we were hunting and fishing, and so properly sealing and preserving food is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, so
we talked about butcher paper for a long time.
at this point, we're going to want to vacuum seal it, but here's something really important to note here. If you just stick this in this machine and you hit start, you're going to have a bad time, because this is one of those things, like everything else that you do, especially in the repair industry, it's detail oriented, okay? There is too much pressure. You can do damage to the device, okay? And by do damage to the device, you can crack a screen, because when I was experimenting with this, I actually broke a screen doing it because I was just goofing off.
Chris Long says he uses a hand pump.
Yeah, you can use the hand pump, or I personally,
cheap.
It is. It's like $10, but on that same note, for $20, you can get the handheld food saver. It's the quart size. You can get the gallon size, I think, and they're $20, and you can, and it's really precise versus doing it with your hand. So for a $10 difference, I would still go with the electric handheld model, which is the one that I normally use.
So you don't need to buy.
Well, if you're doing the large iPads, yes. Because the large iPads don't fit in the, unless you can find like a bigger, like just bag that you can do with the handheld one, which I'm sure, exists somewhere, I'm sure somebody can find it or sell it or something. But with this one, what was important is it looks like it's got a pulse mode, okay? So we're just going to put it in here. And this one looks kind of weird. We figured that we have to really get it locked in there for it to work. A little more? Yeah, it looks like it's on both. So let's see if we can actually figure this out here. So we're going to pulse it. Oh, it's not even on yet.
How is it going to make a vacuum? Don't you need to have this part like in so that it doesn't have to suck through there?
Yeah. This one. Scientist.
I mean, I've never done this before. I'm just assuming.
Mine's just starting
I have put up a few quarts of peaches.
There we go.
Yeah. We got good powers on.
All right.
How do you keep the home button from getting stuck down doing this?
You watch it. Remember I was telling you about that pulse? Okay, so
the risk is, what are you worried about then?
The worried about is if you hit the automatic button, it's going to pull it like it's food because they're programmed for food.
Okay.
There's no programming for, somebody might want to do an iPad in this. We should put a setting in there,
It doesn't ask you, like, is this peaches, jerky, or iPad?
Right, which is why I like, which is why I personally like the handheld units. Let's see if this actually does something.
But so the reason why that would be bad is because why? It will suck
if you put too much pressure in here, you could actually crack it, or you can
That's what happened to this one.
So what also could happen
ate the whole button.
is if, say, for instance, you've got a third-party screen here, these are usually put on with crap tape. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
Right.
I'm sure we can see here. It kind of goes in already a little bit more than like an OEM one. What happens is if you vacuum seal it too much, it'll start to force that button in there, and while you're letting it cure down, pop. There it goes. So, like I said, for me, I always just watch it.
No, did that happen to you? You're a vacuum saver guy.
Never happened with me, but I don't let it go all the way.
Okay.
I use the handheld one.
Okay.
For the iPads, actually, I just got this
Well,
machine.
weren't you saying something about heat and temperature and pressure? What was up with that? I forgot.
Actually, I feel like when you apply heat, the tape inside the LCD, I mean the digitizer, it kind of like melts a little bit, and then when it's dry, it becomes perfect.
Becomes like factory.
Yeah, like the layout.
So you would heat this up right now?
Yep, I will put it for 20 minutes, then.
And what do you think about this thing? Do you think that actually would be like stick it in there and then do that?
No, it's gonna be either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing that I was talking about earlier.
Then it's a dry it, so.
Okay.
The problem again I had with I like this concept. I think it's awesome. But if there's any kind of dings, dents, actual bends in the frame, if it's if it's hot, then the glue itself is going to come up before it has time to cure down.
Okay.
So unless you're just sitting it in there and then turning it off and leaving it there to cure down while it's being pressed, you heat up the stuff, then you might get, especially if it's like bent, like right in the corner or something like that, a little bitty tiny one, you could end up getting that gap to come back. So, let's see if we can figure out how to use this thing. So.
Johnny on stream wants to know, does anyone use a book?
Oh, geez. Yeah, it's not actually pulling anything. Well, this has got a pulse mode, and that's what it needs. You need to be able to control it by hand. Did we plug it? There you go. Yeah, we had it working. So. Should just be pulse?
Yeah, and what about B7000? I meant to ask that. None of you guys use B7000?
Nah. Not on the iPad.
I got 1 vote for get the fuck out from a guy with your same name was just commenting on here like a second ago. Huh, wow, huh.
How's it work, man?
You must just not have it sealed. You might have too much of the bag in there enough.
This is supposed to be an all-in-one solution. Yeah, it's... There we go. So are we in the thing? Is that the...
You may have... Oh, you
sealed it.
You sealed it.
Well, we can just cut it.
And... Very hard to suck it after you
sealed it. Well, at least we know it heat seals for real now. Like, we were having trouble even getting it to do that earlier.
Sounds like user error.
It might be.
Hebecat problem exists between.
It's an ID10T error. Yeah.
Does anyone have the big vacuum machine that fits iPads up to 12 inches?
Can you not? Well, I don't know if that'll fit in
It would
here.
fit in there, totally.
Think so?
I think
Yeah.
this one is 11 inch.
Okay, so let's try this.
I think an iPad Pro would fit in there.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can get an iPad Pro part if you want.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We can see if it even does it. I'm sure that there's big industrial ones for these too, so. Alright, so how. Okay, so here's the deal.
We got stuff happening.
When I'm doing this with a handheld one, I come down and I check the button. The button is the most important thing when you're doing any kind of food saving on your devices. Why? Because it's going
to just
food
to
saving.
be clear,
I know I said
the button is really important when you're doing any
pulsing.
kind of food saving on your devices.
You got to do it.
Just,
You got to do
just
it.
think you should get another shirt made up.
I should start a food channel. All right, so a little bit, you see it comes out. There's no reason to do this all at once. You can do it little pulses. I'm just going to look for a little divot in here.
It's a little depression.
You sound like my mom trying to not wake up the whole house by grinding coffee. Like,
all right, so
like that, just like that.
See, that took only a second here, but we've got a full seal. And the thing I like about this.
Here, hold on to that. So that's wow. So that's like you could put it for sale.
Yeah, you could do it. I think a little bit more. Just get this out.
No, those bubbles are just between the bag.
Yeah, that's just between the bag and everything. That's not the actual display. So once we have it in there like that, we can just hit the seal button
You
here.
can put your label in it and then put it for sale. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Hey, why not? If you just fixed it, might as well, as long as possible.
So now you're sealing it?
That's supposedly. All right, so I guess that means we're done. And then we just leave it there for a few minutes, and just whenever the customer comes back. Whenever the customer comes back, you just open it up.
Who's hungry?
It's life
Right? But the thing is, you can do this on like all kinds of devices. This isn't just for iPads. I seal a lot of Galaxies with this, and I feel like that's what I really have a good time with. And I'm gonna be honest, I originally the entire idea came when I was learning how to do refurb because I didn't know any better.
For schools, I'm not sure that is a terrible thing. Like, can you?
So, like I said, you can do this with a lot of stuff. I originally
Hurricane prep pack.
There we go. Going out to the beach. You just turn it on and good to go. But
Attention,
you can still
guys
click
in
the button.
Florida that have cell phone repair shops. You need to have a sale like today, like right now.
Come get your waterproof.
You need to waterproof everybody's stuff just like that.
Just make sure you charge it first, or have wireless charging.
Yeah, seriously. If you were in a shop in Florida right this second, come in here and put your stuff. Do that,
So by the way, iPad Pro LCD fits just fine.
Yeah, see?
That's
called that.
This is our
barely.
Barely, but it fits good.
Hey, it fits.
Yeah, there's plenty of wiggle room there.
So for me, this is a real simple solution. You can get these things used for like nothing. So the investment to be able to do this is not even really that high, and you can add a whole nother level of quality to your sealing because it's an even seal all the way around. It's not like you got clamps in small portions of it. You know what I mean? It's an equal seal.
Do you have
all
to
the way
microwave it to get it out?
Sometimes.
All right, so now is it done?
Yeah, we just wait whenever you want to take it out.
All right, now take it out, and then let's see how then we're gonna have who wants to break into this and tell us.
Well, do you want to use a suction cup or some kind of standard amount of weight?
Yeah, well, what could we do to what could we do to come up with?
If I have a big suction cup, and then how can we apply standard on that?
I'm sorry. You don't ever put it on a heat mat or heat gun after you put it in the bag?
They usually hold. I usually leave them in there for about 20-30 minutes. Okay. So
I would vote for the practical method would be Tim or Tom. Whoever is here that opens the most whoever opens the most factory sealed iPads is you in this room, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so you just your impression with method 1 and method 2 of how close is that to factory.
Do we want to do them at the same time, or do we want to let this...
Oh, do we have another one?
Well, we're going to do it...
Do we have another iPad?
Yeah, a new unopened iPad?
I mean, somebody who wants to
It
just
would be
break that
nice,
one. I mean,
but
we just,
yeah, we.
somebody can run through the whole technique.
You forgot step one. You didn't
Oh
turn it
my
off
God!
before you
It
worked
turns
on it.
it turns on.
I thought it didn't even work.
I know it didn't work.
Is it already open?
Wow!
Well, look at
Look
that.
at that.
You fixed it.
There we go.
There you go.
Man, I would have been embarrassed. I'll tell you
can't,
that. I'd have been like, anybody know how to do microsoldering?
We're gonna do microsoldering next, so just put that in the pouch.
We'll back the filter.
All right, so
we have a
we're.
mini. We could maybe, but minis are pretty different.
Yeah,
I do the
think it's
minis
gonna
with
be
the
apples to
little
apples.
small
The same one. All right, crack her open and then.
All right, so we're gonna have the we're gonna have you rate this on the. So you're Tim.
I'm Tim.
So you're gonna rate this on a 0 to 10 Tim scale of how close this is to as if it were an unopened original.
Okay, but I gotta do it the way I do it, so I need a Wagner heat gun.
Okay, I'm sure that we can come up with those. Let's look back at the Wagner section over here.
The Wagner section.
Right. There, I am 100% sure. Huh? Okay, yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
We need the DeWalt.
I use a cheap Chinese heat gun with like a nozzle on it.
Okay.
He's gonna go get one. So.
Focuses just on the edge.
So what do y'all know? So we're looking at an iPad 2. Where do you normally start with an iPad 2 that you don't want to break a screen on?
At the corner.
The one so that it's going to open up like a book away from me.
Yeah, you want to go to the left, but you could in theory start right there and just work your way around and then just open it that way. I normally will start in the bottom and work my way, and then I might give myself a second start point so you're not putting pressure under the home button.
So why are you opening all these iPads where you don't want to break the screen? Like, what's wrong with them?
So batteries.
Okay.
Because these
TriStar.
are kids' iPads. They put them in their backpacks. They abuse the crap out of them.
Yeah.
We do have
So it's a
LCD
lot
on-
of charge port kind of things.
A lot of sometimes
I almost
it's
feel
just
like you have like
it's just
the
LCDs,
worst, not the
you
worst
know,
customers,
a lot
but
of
the
times
worst
it's just they're
people
putting
that
it in
have the
the
devices
backpack.
possible.
Okay, so they get a cracked LCD with no cracked glass.
No cracked glass,
Okay.
and it's factory OEM.
Okay.
So
Headphone jacks. We get a lot of headphone jacks, which surprisingly we were talking about the headphone jack breaking off in them, but that's not really that common for us. So normally they just.
a lot of the batteries that are going out, but the iPad Air, we've noticed that we actually we do a check on all batteries.
Are you going to be able to
put it
work with the
on
blue one?
system,
I know
so
it's
that we know
not
when it
yellow.
goes back in, kind of that battery's failing, so that if we repair the glass, we might need to repair the battery at the same time.
Okay.
You want to pull that film too?
Where are you guys from?
Texas.
Texas.
We ain't coming out.
Do try this at home.
Yes.
What?
That Juju? Is that what we're talking about?
It's Wagner time. On your app, does it disappear the comments before you can like really see them on whatever your vacuum looks like too much of a hassle for me, says V Stewart. I'll stick with completely cleaning the frame and using good tape plus heat at the end.
Oh, my husband burns the hell out of them compared to that.
Okay, this is a. All right, so now you've got to give us the Tim scale. So
Okay,
on a-
so-
on 1 to 10.
On a 1 to 10, for a factory seal, we would normally start in the bottom left.
All right.
With either an iFlex or an iSesame, or however the hell you say that.
Wait, you don't say iSesamo?
iSesame? However.
That looks pretty easy.
Yeah, we use iFlex. I'll be honest, this is less than factory seal.
Wah, wah, wah.
But it is a very tight seal.
That's
and
what she said.
Hopefully.
Evil laugh.
So normally at this point,
Careful with your Wi-Fi.
yeah, at this point you would be careful with your Wi-Fi. Did you put tape over the Wi-Fi, the top of the Wi-Fi?
Yeah. No, I went from here.
We're pretty sure it doesn't even have Wi-Fi.
Oh, well then never mind.
We didn't even think it worked till we turned it on.
Yeah.
This is the new one.
So,
Yep.
oh, advertising a new part. We got an iNew Plasti. This is the plastic iFlex that
The
will not
iPlastic.
That's gonna melt.
that will not scratch anodization.
So we're using it so we can take it home, right?
Yes, Kyle.
I might need it.
They did ask us when we first came in to not steal anything.
I have. I'm asking.
Well, we won't tell if you put that in your pocket. I'm sure no one
That's
will
what I've been
know.
doing the whole time I've been here.
Wow, I mean that is a pretty cool.
That's even more than
Uh,
Gladly pay for that.
this is
Is it like
thinner.
Teflon?
I don't know what it is made out
Eric,
of.
are we allowed to put heat and see
Yes.
if that will
You can
stand
do
up?
whatever you want with it.
Great.
That's exactly the same tool I have, but it's made out of
That seems pretty tough, man. You're
Okay.
struggling.
Yeah, this one's fighting me on the
The
side.
one made out of metal.
This is a
is
lot.
called
This
the
side is
iFlex.
giving me much better seal than the bottom did.
Interesting.
It's going up in tin.
It's going up
Going
in
up
tin.
in tin.
The tin scale is rising. Oh man, I wish I had a little graphic with a little thermometer.
That
Watch
box.
it.
With
Watch
his
that
head on the
conflict,
top.
though.
So Tim, you normally
Those are the
put
worst
tape
effects.
over the Wi-Fi after you've opened it up?
We put it along the bottom. We don't put it over the top because if you have to reopen it, it's going to rip the Wi-Fi every time and you're doing a Wi-Fi. You also we never put any tape over the magnet lock or the power cable because power buttons on iPad 2s are a bitch.
Yes. I always just I still put tape there, just not actually on it. Like maybe a thin part on the other side of it.
I put tape on it because I'm a professional.
You don't like
That's
taking
fair.
apart any.
That's
you
fair.
don't
Reassemble iPads.
You don't.
We can't all be just.
No, I mean I get your point, but if I don't expect to see it back. If I was doing them for school, then that would definitely. Then it's like it's coming back to you.
I will admit this is tight. This is very tight up top. So the
That's
bottom,
also what she
Doesn't
said.
test tape get stronger over time?
It should.
It does.
Yeah.
So
Until
leaving it
it's
in there
failed.
for 20 to 30
Now
minutes.
we have to rewind the video and see which side did you go in a different. Where did you reverse direction? You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I want to know which direction I'm supposed to go. Now I'm all like, what?
You go in one direction all the way around.
It doesn't matter the direction.
Doesn't matter as long as you go the same direction.
Taking out, go all the same direction.
Does someone know why that's the case?
The top of the iPad was closer to.
They explained it in the webinar.
In the webinar
Yeah,
with
you're right.
Visa, they talk about it, but it has to do with the molecular bond
You're doing great, Tim.
I try.
Hey, we ain't broke
So
the screen yet.
what's the rating right now? I know it may change.
This is sitting at about a 310.
310, huh?
310.
Out of how
right over
many?
the cable, out of 10.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
So 10 is factory.
10
and
is
this
factory.
Is 3?
This is sitting at about, overall, maybe a 5.
He's a very hard ass, so I would say that probably it's going to be
Let's
like
make it.
So we translated from the Tim to the Kristen scale, which is like Celsius to Fahrenheit.
It's probably
you would
like
translate,
a 7.
a 3 Tim really
is a
means
perfectionist, so
We love Tim.
and that's why we love him.
So this, but I can also say this: it comes up so much easier than the OEM tape.
Scott Ashton says that you keep a small backup heat gun
Oh,
on your ankle.
And I told
there goes the Wi-Fi.
Shit.
Well, I don't think the Tim scale counts.
I'm sure no one noticed that.
I'm sure you'll at least
So,
be able to pick up the one
I
next
do
to
like.
the router.
So this is the same thing kind of we
Surprised
do
that lined
here.
up.
We go with I'm also very impressed you got that to line up the first time. The
What's that comes
the tape going down the side here, you don't have to worry about hitting this, hitting here, or hitting here. These are the 3 danger points. If you have to replace this cable, you're going to scream curse words every time.
That is true.
Unless the off chance you're pulling one from another device because they're already pre-folded.
Yeah.
Then you'll just say, damn it.
Then then it's just damn it.
Yeah.
And I just burn the shit out of my hands. So
Yeah.
I actually use thicker tests on the sides than on the top.
5mm.
Yeah. And again, I will make the argument for even overlapping the edge of the metal right here, here, and there, just to avoid a short.
For the corners.
I don't, because you've got such this massive amount of LCD. In theory, you could go all the way up to here.
Yeah.
So I would make an argument that you can. I will say this part opened up really easy. I think part of that's because that corner's missing.
Yeah, that's been.
So I'll give it another 10 for that.
Yay! Wow.
We're up to what a
5.
6. No,
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
I was at 5 a minute ago.
Yeah, I'm at 5. I'm at 5 out of 10.
You were at 325, and now you're solid.
I'm
I'm
at
gonna get a
solid
phone number here
What do
soon
you
enough.
got
So many numbers.
One's hardest.
That opened up not bad. You didn't break a screen. It came up pretty easy. The new plastic tool works really well. It seems like just like the iFlexes, you're gonna have to clean them all the time, but that's adhesive. So.
All right, so now.
I wonder if that's on
All right,
camera
so
anywhere.
Eric,
For burn marks.
we need
Oh, yeah, there's no-
Eric. Calling Eric. Dr. Essen, please report to surgery.
So we're comparing.
We don't. I don't think we're allowed to play with your machine here.
Yeah. I want you guys to do it.
We don't have any idea how you're supposed to
t-shirt
work. We're
price.
just
If
going to
you're
be
pressing
like
t-shirt.
guessing and stuff. Here, somebody stick, Justin, stick your hand in there and tell me if it's warmed up.
150? All right. Yeah. No, it's hot.
Okay. All right, well, get over here and tell us how this thing works, because we don't really know. At least I don't, because I wasn't here when you were talking about it before.
Put decals on it too, though,
The OEM method of applying the digitizers is using both heat and pressure, and the tape.
And how do you know that?
From speaking to people who have made the tapes that are rumored to be the tapes popular digitizers.
First hand, not third.
Yeah.
Through a guy. Yeah.
No, from engineers from the adhesive companies.
Okay.
Who have been
The Chinese
on
guy that added
the
you on
iFixit
Facebook.
So
channel.
I think that's an awesome concept. The only thing is we're all saying, okay, what if it's tweaked at all? Is it gonna break the glass coming down if it's not completely flush? I see that there's a foam there to kind of help the cushioning a
and
little bit.
we did some tests where with an empty chassis, we put a piece of foam in it, and then we clamped it and we let it cool completely overnight. And when we took it out, it was fully sealed all the way around the outside, with a bow in the middle from the piece of foam pressing up. But we couldn't remove it from the press warm to do that. But we also clamped we had a bent iPad mini that we clamped in it. And if we let it sit for long enough, not fully overnight, but if we let it sit for long enough, the glass was actually just formed.
Well, I mean, the glass is kind of flexible already, so.
The glass is much more flexible than you would.
So you made this. So this is your project.
Yes.
All right. And you're going to sell these?
Yes.
In theory, or definitely?
They're for sale for pre-order right now.
They are. All right.
What is the price?
Yeah. How much are these things?
$795.95.
Wholesale or retail?
That's the retail price.
Is there any wholesale?
We'll have to meet. I'll have to meet with the pro team to discuss what we can manage for people.
Whoever was in the room, like right now.
Yeah.
So whoever stole the black test tape, we need that.
Oh,
back.
it is right there going on to a
line up and go through the security screening.
So you're made it to your pockets.
Yes.
I think Tim still has the tool in his pocket.
Shut up.
I brought my tools with me. Okay.
No, Tim gets to keep the tool for demoing it.
That's what I said.
That might be the first demo of that. I don't know.
I never saw it before.
Just arrived this week from Alessandra Daughtercon.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
So I'm gonna see if we're agreeing on this the way we do it, because I was not able to be.
Now, when you open it back up and use that tool again, use it with the heat gun, because everybody wants to know if that Teflon tool, like, you know.
Yeah, use the same one. Yeah, we'll be consistent.
All right.
Scientific with it.
Okay. It's legit operation. The Tim scale is totally scientifically accurate, cannot be altered or it's insensitive to changes in humidity, atmospheric pressure.
We also work in Waco, Texas, so it's
yeah, so
It's hot.
it's hot.
So when do we apply beer to the Tim?
I think we have to. I don't think I'm worried that we could alter the Tim scale if applied too early.
When we're done, that's when we apply it. All right, so I'm going to make an argument someone here is going to disagree with. I cover this section right here. And someone's going to argue that it's going to screw up the proximity sensor, the ambient light sensor. Who wants to make
Well, did you cover up the actual sensor?
No, I didn't.
Okay, then no, it'll be fine.
Okay. All right.
We're all professionals
blown away. I would have made that argument.
If you cover up the sensor, then yeah, it's not going to work.
What about the magnet you said to watch out for?
This right here. So there's no tape over that. There's no tape over the volume button flex, and there's no tape over the power button flex. Our tape covers the bottom of the Wi-Fi cable, but not the top. That way, when you get up in between the glass and the tape, you can keep that flex down and hopefully not tear it. That being said, we do stock those still.
I have to break a couple before I learn my lesson.
I think that's how we all learned our lessons the first time.
So you're making this little like, are you intentionally kind of making that?
No, it's a bad cut, honestly.
Jessa, how many people put the glass, what were you saying, put the tape on the glass first?
Put the tape on the glass instead of on the
This is a good argument.
Not me, do you?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
You know how to do
what
it.
little I do.
Right.
That's not
So, I make the argument for putting it on the frame, same reason he does. It creates a better seal to keep dust out.
Especially
because
if
we're
you
in
put it on
Texas
the edge.
and there's a shit ton of dust in here.
Yeah. So anybody put? Does
behind
anybody put it on the glass instead of the frame?
I can close
How
that
much
in.
do we do it on downtown?
Closer.
Oh,
than
okay.
than if
That's
you're
not a
doing
bad
it here.
So
argument
yeah,
to change it out.
Because what I do is I line it up to the edge and I razor blade the edge.
Chris Long
Yeah,
says
we
I
could-
put
we
it on
could
the frame and
definitely
the
do
glass.
I've heard this
Chris-
argument for double adhesive.
Chris can just.
You know
It's a
what?
weird-
I'm very
it's a weird
surprised by
argument. I
that,
don't
given
know
how
if
much of a
I've ever found a
cheapskate he
reason.
is.
But
Like, really surprised. Like, if he's gonna sit there and reball chips.
Every single chip. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
you don't reball much. You have double adhesive.
No.
Then you're
You don't like
definitely
it?
gonna get some. You're gonna
No,
feel the
man.
difference in where the
Because
glass
I
is.
can't. I mean, I did.
She just told Chris to go
They'll put adhesive on the frame.
sweep
and
her
then put
floor
adhesive
like
on the
Yeah, I
glass.
did.
Oh, really?
No, I have. It, now that
You don't
now
even keep
that
them? Don't even keep them in a
Mason,
jar?
I don't.
Like, you can sell them. If
I
anything.
come sweep my floor, man. Anytime.
Okay.
Anybody want to
I
argue
will.
for keeping
Dude,
that?
I will sweep the floor.
Anybody want to make an argument for keeping the camera retainer?
Oh, I don't. I take them off.
To make an
I don't believe in
argument
them.
for it.
Oh, you don't need it?
Not really, no.
Does anybody?
If you're getting good
If
glass,
you get it from a good
And you don't have a
vendor,
home
just
button.
slide it.
Oh, well.
yeah, give me a home
Well-
button. We'll do a home button this time so we can see.
Yeah.
We had. A
We
home
can just
button.
take it off the other
Here.
one. Where's the...
Here.
I'll just take it off. I don't even know where I put it.
Yeah, I want to see what this guy does to the home button because if you've ever had to pull up an iPad 2 that fought you, so I don't know if you know, there's two revisions of the iPad 2.
Mm-hmm.
The original iPad was actually much more difficult to get open. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe y'all do. But the second one uses a similar style of adhesive as the iPad 3 and 4 that opens significantly easier for us. But with that
Never
first
knew
one,
that. I always thought it was just a pain in the ass for the whole volume flex.
Yeah.
When you're wrong. You know.
Yeah. So the other thing is the
And trolling people on the location of the backlight stuff.
well, you're right.
Oh yeah, did you?
I did that one time. I did that like 2 or
No,
3
somebody
weeks
just
ago.
posted it up. Like,
So and then
but I mean,
but
it was.
with that,
Oh,
those
no, I
first
saw that.
generations,
It was like
we had a tendency to melt home buttons.
I know what you're talking about. I was
And
talking to
so
Brad now.
you would melt a home button, and what do y'all use to hold the home buttons down?
Wait, what now?
What, if you're putting a home button, you've taken the old one off, you pulled the adhesive off. What do you use?
I'm talking about the back of these right here.
7,000.
Oh, okay. So I have the thicker tested tape. I put it on there and I cut it exactly perfect, and I hold it down for about 10 seconds on there.
I mean, just go B7000. You don't have to.
Never. Never. No, I like B7000.
I think
It's not bad.
B7000 for that is exactly what it's for. You know.
I mean, I can get behind that. I can get behind
Well,
that.
they didn't do anything.
How about you?
Hot glue.
Lather it up, baby.
I mean, didn't they use hot glue on that? Was it the Mini 3 Touch ID? They got hot glue up all in that bad boy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not hot glue,
I know.
but actually the Mini and the...
What about
Touch
the
ID.
bead of hot glue that goes down on the refurb CPU shield?
Oh, every time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah, those
I
blue lines on the top of the logic board, you know you're in for a good one.
Oh, yeah. You see, what was it? All the rainbow effect. Whenever they
Now,
get in
where do
there.
you think that is coming from? Like, I just did a stream where I did my friend Sarah's phone. It was like that. And I'm like, what's the history? And she just got it from a carrier. You know, it was not a refurb.
There's a makeup products tester.
Are we talking about the rainbow effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I was talking to them and I was going to see if they could figure out what the composition of it was to see if it's
The lotion stuff?
I always
You
thought
mean
it was
the
just like an
rainbow
oil
stuff?
buildup or something. From
I thought it
somebody
was sunscreen, and then
Yeah.
you know what? Most recently, when you heat it, the smell was definitely
I have
like
not heated
like
and smelled it yet. I've been
Really?
huffed it.
you gotta do science.
You gotta check.
You got it's not huffing. You gotta waft.
Like at Tijuana, just the waft.
Yeah, you're really like like when you heat it up, like you can always tell if you're doing water damage, where you're like, oh yeah, this one was totally barf. When you start taking the shields off,
And they're
you know.
like instant.
Yeah, or you're like, oh, lady's purse, you know, or the next one.
Or
But one-
full of
the
grass
last-
or tobacco or something because
Yes.
the screen was broke.
All right, Eric, help us out.
We have a sealed iPad with a home button.
Okay.
So we'll put it in. We'll put it under the sheet here.
Under the sheet.
That way we keep. If there's any contaminating grit or anything, we're not embedding it in the permanently
in the foam.
into the foam or into the plate above it.
Very cool.
So that way your next customer.
So what is this? This is like canvas?
This is a PTFE sheet.
Oh.
Brand name Teflon.
Okay.
This is the Amazon version, so definitely a PTFE sheet, and this is not Teflon.
Not Teflon. This is a not Teflon sheet. Gotcha.
So, the people who have been testing this have been running it at around 40 seconds. I don't know what the ideal time is.
Okay.
But they've been happy with that so far.
Okay.
40 seconds.
Rack it up.
It's at 40.
Great. Now the whole
now
test
it's
is
43.
Now we're screwed. Now we're gonna have to delete a tenth of a Tim.
Hopefully there was no residual glass on it.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Scott Ashton wants to know: are you going to transfer an image to that iPad? That would be pretty cool if you had your like some kind of a sticker.
Well, hey,
or
those stickers
like
work on anything. A long time ago, I used to work at the beach. We were making T-shirts, and you could put all those little like things on like anything. You put it on money. You can put it on.
Wait, you worked at one of those shops where it's like, I'll take a number 57, the Princess Fairy Castle.
No. I did that because I was bored there. I actually was the person doing those stupid henna tattoos.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago. Good times.
Things you learn.
The things you learn.
And we're done.
Okay,
popcorn's done.
And
all right.
What's the cool time?
Yeah.
I would say room
customers
temperature.
right here, right now.
All right, real question. Have you put a piece of pizza on there?
No, I have not. Now the question too is,
how about slice and bake?
How long does it take to heat the adhesive itself to roughly 140 plus degrees?
You have a thermocouple?
So do we think 40 seconds? I think 40 seconds is probably long enough.
It feels about 120 to me.
Wow.
Oh, we do have I can get.
Boom.
We don't need anything. We got Tim.
Yeah. Here's what I want to do. Well, here's what I want to do to prove the Tim scale at the end. If we need to come up with some kind of a thermometer, have him be like, it feels like 120. Stick a thermometer on there, see how close.
Then we just take that and we derive what the actual score
yes.
is.
Then we'll have a.
How many of you actually have feeling in your hands still?
Chinese thermometer.
Well, it still turns on.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
It's cooled off.
Oh, it's cooled off by now.
So we're at 98, almost 20 seconds later.
Okay.
Fahrenheit. We're talking Fahrenheit because we're in America.
Right.
Because
I'm from Texas. Damn.
Well, you let the other one sit for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not 5 minutes. We're just leave it sit for
All
about
right.
5 minutes.
It's still
Enough for it to boot up, right?
Comes down.
Yeah, it's with Tessa. It needs to come down to harden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you didn't do anything.
So what's the expertise here? I mean,
No burn mark.
The warming of the tape is important for it to make full surface contact.
says the guy that makes the tape.
Says the guy that makes the tape.
Right.
So,
The
and
warming
there's more,
of
and
the
I am
tape
not a
is important.
chemist, so I don't know what additional things might be in that formula.
Okay.
But we have.
My thing is like just when I was looking at some of the specifications of the 61395, it looked like the tape itself will not reach the
Maximum
the maximum shear
cure,
strength
right.
for 2 weeks. Which is why I personally think that when some of this stuff comes through,
Probably a solvent off gassing.
I'm not sure. But if these things are sitting in, like containers coming over, they've got
They're
time to
being
sit here.
manufactured. They're clamped while they're being manufactured, and then they get.
By the time they get to us, they're fully cured. So it technically takes 2 weeks to get a full cure on 61395.
We are about a minute in.
You know how
So we're
when
going to
you're waiting
say
on
2
something.
weeks, 5 minutes.
Years.
About the same thing.
Right.
So the goal of this machine would be, I would hope, to turn around iPads faster. So I could, in theory, heat cure the stuff, set it aside, and then by the hour and a half we've told the customer, which is rare, we normally say 24 hours on iPads because of volume, it's done. It's good to go. There's zero chance of it lifting. And I think, hopefully with the combination of the Tessa tape and that nice press, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
I think it's the heat.
Yeah, heat's important. Heat's important. That's why I'm going to poo-poo your...
But remember, it's got a bent corner.
Well, we bent the corner out.
So are you predisposed to this machine?
I am predisposed to this machine.
So the Tim scale
Oh
is off.
no! Now the Tim's. You've spoiled the Tim scale. You can't give a Tim rating.
Oh, the Tim scale's on its opener.
Right, but you're internally thinking, I want that thing to win.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
bias,
so hard.
Tim bias.
We need somebody else to open this one.
Did you see the jury selection for the Martin Shkreli trial?
Oh my God.
Where the judge was asking, what do you think of Martin Shkreli? And he's like, I think he's the biggest scumbag that's ever lived. It's, okay, you can't be on the jury now.
We need to. So let's put it. Do we have just a piece of cold metal we can set this on to cure down? I mean, to cool down before you.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Yeah, we'll put it on something. Yeah, there we go.
No, that'll correct
Is that metal? Yeah, just.
Or just the fan, even?
Yeah, there we go. Face down right there. Let's get some heat dissipation going on.
So tell us about heat dissipation. How does that work?
What does that do?
Heat.
Thermodynamics.
Yeah,
Everything wants to transfer. Go to the lowest
Yeah,
state.
Mother Nature loves equilibrium.
Exactly.
Things that are, molecules that are moving fast are going to slow down, and things that are concentrated in one area are going to spread out. It's just the
So
way
you
it
got the three
goes.
laws of thermodynamics, right?
Yeah.
You can't win, you can't break even, and you can't get out of the game.
That was my whole video in 3 seconds. You're done.
What is the green stuff over here?
What are we looking for?
Green, this here?
Yeah.
This is just simple green cleaning fluid.
So are we just looking to clean?
I just want to clean
That's
it so
a
it's got a
cleaner. It's what people use to make things look nice.
Nice.
When companies coming over.
And we have our ISO 14001 environmental certification, so this is the environmentally friendly cleaning solution.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fancy.
I just want to clean the eye plastics so it's a fair fight.
Okay.
Well, it's not a fair fight.
'Cause,
You're predisposed to Fukushima, man.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever used an iFlex with adhesive.
Look at how you're planting the seeds of bias.
Well, I already told him. I
They've
said-
already planted.
You're accusing him of Tim privilege. You're planting
privilege.
some seeds. Yes.
Can we show this right here since it's opening tools?
Sure.
It looks like what prisons show.
Oh my God.
Shakes that have been
Prison check
collected.
display.
We got this from the jail.
So I'm gonna.
We were really
hold this,
proud to see
but I'm
this
gonna let
one in the
Eric
jail.
come off and show off his baby.
Yeah.
So this is. We know that you're all predisposed to the iSesamo, and it's a fantastic tool.
Got the super grip on that one.
We have our competitor alternative to the iSesamo.
Yeah, and we do love DaughterPod and Alessandro. We're showing off the new plastic.
Is that what we're using here?
Where
Yeah.
did it go?
Yeah.
That's what we're using
It
open.
was in his pocket.
So
The eye plastics.
this tool, I like it. It does flex really nice.
How many? Are you giving it 10 tens?
No, not quite.
Oh.
Because
See about a shoe.
That's the 10. The 10.
no. I'm gonna make an argument. It is harder. I think it's gonna be harder to clean than the metal ones.
That's woman's work.
I mean,
you don't
is
have to worry
is
about
it
it.
safe with
I am the
ISO?
only woman in that company. The
owner.
Yeah, the whole time you're just like, oh my God.
So if it's made,
What's it made?
I
just like
believe
metal.
it's
Well,
made
no,
of
it's
a
great.
Teflon
I'm afraid
impregnated
of
plastic.
this stuff.
Very similar.
You're gonna have to
to
actually clean
the
it.
brand Delrin
Wah,
from
wah,
3M.
wah. Maybe if it's hot,
Which
it
is,
cleans off right away.
Yeah, maybe we should
Poly,
heat it
what
up.
kind of poly? I forget the type of polymer.
Oh, we did want to do a heat test afterwards.
Polyurethane?
All right, so tell us about this.
Yeah, tell us
No
about the.
So this is
Jimmy.
the prototype and all of the different avenues we went down when we were developing the Jimmy. One of the initial ideas was to try and make it look like a really cool SWAT team type of knife. Like, a guy swims up on the beach, what's he going to pull out of his boot? So we started with this, but we experimented with Delrin type materials as well. We tried lots of different blade profiles. We looked into having a replaceable blade that was reversible if it wore out. And we also at the time were just had our new logo, so we were still sussing out what we wanted our tool handles to look like moving forward. So we experimented with different colors.
So why did you settle on the metal versus the Delrin?
Durability. Overall, at the time when we were testing, we were just not. We tested it with a bunch of techs, tried it,
Yeah.
and they
And
preferred
we were scuffing
metal
up and
over.
screaming. And you can see this got chipped as we were experimenting with it. So we settled on the. Do we have a Jimmy around here that we can?
Pocket? Oh.
XYZ PDQ.
Oh, my money's falling out.
I try to help.
Yeah, but I mean the Jimmy's been great, and since we've shipped tens of thousands of these. Every ProTech toolkit has a Jimmy in it. It's replaced. It's replaced the knife that we had in it that wasn't TSA approved. You can take these on the airplane with you. That's cool.
Yeah, I learned that one.
This product actually is starting to take off with people in paint and hardware.
And jails.
Actually, Shank and Shiv were the original working product names. And that was shut down by
by Kyle
and other people and Kyle.
All right, Tim, tell us what you think.
Well, I don't want to do it on this iPad because we're testing.
Yeah, no, I know. I just saw it.
But I will say this. So I usually use an iFlex, and you have way better grip. The one thing I do not like about the iFlex is if it does fight me, it digs in, and it can cut your hand. I had one of my techs slice his hand open with an iFlex.
Ouch, God.
Didn't need stitches, but we glued it
up.
But
you did have to give back a bloody iPad to that kid.
It was a customer, and it was a white one, so we had to clean it a lot.
Oh, man, it's just like the marker trick. You fill in the cracks.
Because the iPad was white.
Yeah, black would have hit it, you know?
Just making sure. You're like, it was for a customer, a white one, so we had to clean it.
The iPad
That's what you actually said. Just saying.
Okay.
Just trying to keep you out of trouble. You're like, well, we're from Texas. I got some blood on an iPad for one of my white customers, so.
The iPad's just got character. What are you talking about?
So
obviously we had to clean it.
I do like the fact that a handle is covered.
Yeah.
Because of that one thing.
You really don't like cleaning.
I don't like cleaning.
Okay, gotcha.
I would pocket it, but I'm already planning on stealing that. So.
All right, let's see.
I think we're down to a pretty normal.
So we waited on this one because the other one didn't get heated. Therefore, it was always at room temperature. And we know how do we get these things off by heating them up. So we want to test them both at room temperature. So this one.
So the China laser says right now we're at 84 degrees.
Which is what it feels about in here.
About right, yeah. We'll call it. So we're going to do this the exact same way. The last one I opened it, I started with an iFlex and I moved over to the iPlastic.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to do the exact same pattern.
So it looks like you use about 12 Tim strokes on each side.
We're not going to use the word strokes.
four across the bottom.
Too many folks for different strokes.
All right.
Don't fuck it up. Tim, we're counting on you. You guys remember that one time when we were counting on Tim and he let us know? Back at the conference.
With that long video that we had to delete. Oh, man. The comments on the stream are shh and no pressure. And the pressure is on. So is it about, right now, impression, about the same or not?
My first impression is it was much harder to get into at first. It was much harder to get into at first. That being said, it's not taking a whole lot of heat and a whole lot of pressure.
Wow. Oh, that just went right through.
I mean, I'm not Tim, but
where are we at on the Tim scale right now?
You're almost done.
Yeah.
What do you
the same side caught us on both sides. So
is that a 0 or are you gonna give it a 1?
Right.
Like the heat gun's warmed up.
Heat gun's warmed up.
I mean, we're gonna have to roll back and check timestamps.
This is harder than the 3rd grade math test.
It was harder to get into. It came up faster.
You ripped it. Oh, you ripped it.
So where do we leave with that?
Ooh.
I ripped the flex with the iPlastic.
Demerits.
Wow, interesting.
That's interesting to me.
Yes. Well, everything's going to shit. It's time to drink beer.
Yeah. So here's my argument.
Yeah, but you like that. I mean, your whole thing at beginning one was, I want to be able to get back into this iPad without it killing me. Yeah. I really only want to have to get rid of the factory adhesive once.
Correct.
And then after that, I want to keep it safe, dust out, water out. But, you know, when that kid inevitably, sticks some chewing gum in the charge port and then, does some science experiment, I want to be able to open it up easy.
So I can take the board out and send it to Jesse. Yes.
Right. What?
So it was much harder to get open at first. So I think it has a better starting seal. Yeah. It's more even.
Okay.
I think the heat is the big factor of that. It was an even, nice seal, and so this works very well for getting you a much closer to factory seal.
Okay.
I would also, so I'm going to postulate that because it was at a higher temperature, it's going to take longer to cure than the other one.
Correct.
So I think if we left them both for 8 hours or came back tomorrow, that you'd have the harder to get into initial strength and that they
the hold. So do we have another frame that we can just do two with?
Seal two up again.
Yeah.
I think that, we got to be done for now, but I think that the concept here a lot of people are really interested in, especially if you could demonstrate, like over time, where you just kind of put somebody on the job of like, make an 8-minute video where we're like, here are 4 things, this is what we're doing to them. Yeah. We're going to open it up for a week to have suggestions, and then we're going to come up with an actual test, pressure test.
Eric, can we come up with another iPad now?
I can ask around.
I can go home and grab one for my daughter.
What let's try to do is
wait, don't you have a kid that's got an iPad? That's
it's working.
So
is this one?
So what I would say is let's end this test, and he's got a good perspective. Let's see if we can get another iPad, do the exact same thing that we just did again, and let it sit overnight, and then come back and test them tomorrow.
There you go. All right, that sounds really good. But what is the Tim scale on this? You got to give us a number.
I gave this a 5.
So
an overall 5.
An overall 5.
Easier to get into at first.
Mm-hmm. But less even all the way around.
This I'm gonna give a 4. It was much more difficult to originally get into, but it came up much easily once we started going. The argument I think is after it cures, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder.
Well, let's do it.
So we're gonna close these 2 up tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna open them both again.
All right, sounds good.
Tim, don't you think you're comparing to like iPad 2s where the adhesive has been on there for years and it's gone through hot and cold temperatures, so it's gone through constriction?
Sure. Well, I think that's what he's saying is that's the 10. 10 is the one that's just been glued on there for years.
But what I'm saying is he's opened factory sealed that have been sealed for a long time, so they're much tighter.
Right.
Because they've been sealed for so long.
I would say
they're at least fully cured.
Yeah, I mean they ship so fully cured. So
right.
I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. We are in Texas. It's hot. I mean,
yeah. It feels like Texas right now. All right, we're going to be done with the stream. Yes. One.
The iPhone 7 waterproofness.
Okay.
After it's supposed to be reliant upon a heat pressure setting, so
Not
that
just
might
pressure.
add an additional
Value.
application for the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, definitely makes sense.
All
right.
Make sure you don't refurb that screen wrong. You're putting there and all the bubbles going to come right back at it.
Okay, so we have been here at the iFixit Unconference. We're going to end our stream. We have learned a lot, hearing from all sorts of folks that have been fixing iPads and gathering up industry experience collectively so that we can try to develop best practices. And so far, we all really like this machine from iFixit, the heat press, and we're excited to see how that's going to stack up against the food saver bags and maybe some other just sort of conventional techniques that people generally use, and do an overnight experiment, and then we'll let you know what we find in the comments below. So thank you everybody for watching, and goodbye from iFixit Unconference. All right, end stream.
Just, I wanted to say this on camera, but
whoa.
That's